Hi everybody, how are you? Good to be here as always. What is it today? It's Tuesday, the 6th of May. Time's moving on, isn't it? Uh, Lovely weather we've got again here in the UK. Things are warming up for the weekend, which is nice for the walk for us, which means we haven't got to worry about any rain, so we can take the right kind of clothing with us without having to double up. Anyway, as far as OES is concerned, no new news there. But as our CEO said on the webinar, he is planning on doing a Indian webinar for the Hindi-speaking regions. So have a look out for that. If it's going to happen this week or not, I don't know. As I said before, I'm kind of feeling there won't be any international webinar this week, mainly because of the timing. We had it on Saturday, and he's very busy at the moment with lots of things going on. So I think probably this week we won't hear from him. But that's okay. We've got plenty to go on, haven't we, from the webinar that we had on Saturday. And this is kind of what I'm going to do probably today and tomorrow at least, is to go over some of the things that he brought up and maybe delve a little bit deeper into them, and we'll mull them over a little bit more. Why are we going to sort of pick the bones over it a little bit? I do feel that regardless of what our CEO says, and regardless of what myself, Chris, Marty, and others try and say as well, there's still an awful lot of people who either don't want to know what's going to happen, or don't really understand what is going to be happening. So part of what we're all going to be doing, well, especially me, is going over what our CEO said and try and change the language a little bit with the same message, so that hopefully everybody will understand what is going on. So let's start right at the beginning of what he was talking about on Saturday. Most of what Saturday was all about, in all honesty, was reiteration and clarification once again of us moving from what Onpassive is to something brand new. This was again reaffirming that we are leaving that shell of Onpassive where it is, in situ, intact, with everything that we see in it, but we are ourselves moving to this new place in the next phase. One of the most important things that he did say, in my opinion, is all of this, what I've been talking about the last 3 times on the webinar, isn't even step 1. Okay, so for everybody who's surmising, people who are thinking and wondering, and is this going to happen, and are we having this, and all the rest of it, take that out of your mind. Okay, it's wasting your time and energy even thinking about those sort of things, because nobody knows what it's going to look like, how it's going to work, whether we're going to have this, are we going to have that. So there's no point in really trying to anticipate it or even first guess it, because nobody knows. And this is actually, again, done by design. Well, not we, but certainly our CEO, Ashmi Farah, really wants it to be about having that impact to not only us, but everyone else as well. This is part of the strategy, of course. It's because he doesn't want anything to leak out so that people know what's going on. But more importantly, he wants it to be extra special for so many people when they see it for the first time. We should take comfort from his words of what we are going to is better than what we have had. Now, I was certainly one of the people that was very happy with what we had. I've For me, it was a business that I could get my teeth into, I could utilize, I could go out into the marketplace and make it, for me and my family, a very good business. But knowing I'm going to get something that's better than that, that excites me. That really does start getting me going. And we need to understand that all of the things that are happening at the moment are just preparation. They are laying that groundwork. They are basically getting rid of what was and preparing us for what is. And that's where we need to have our focus, is on transitioning from there to here. Don't worry about logistical semantics or how's this going to happen and are we going to see this and can I do that? It doesn't really matter, because knowing the CEO that we have, Ashmi Farah, like I do, he will make sure that everything is given to us clearly, concisely, and there will be a system format to follow to go to the next phase. Again, guys, don't worry about things like, are we going to have to pay again? Are we going to see this? Are our teams coming with us? Blah, blahs. Okay. It doesn't matter at this stage about those sort of bits and pieces of information. They're only things that we will all find out at the same time. I don't know it. Chris doesn't know it. Marty doesn't know it. There's only one person that knows what's going to happen, and that's our CEO, Ashmi Farah. So there's no point in trying to second guess it. If there is people out there who are already saying this, that, and the other is going to be there, all the rest of it, they don't know either. They are just trying to utilize their, I suppose, position to gain either more followers or more clicks or whatever it may be. But I can assure you that nobody knows anything. So if there is people out there saying something, money, this is going to happen, etc., just brush it off. Don't even worry about it, because it's something that is not of anyone's knowledge at the moment. So I would just cast that to one side for now, because nobody knows. One of the other things that I really liked was he actually did mention one of our products, didn't he? He mentioned about OConnect, if you remember. And he said, what have I told you that we are not going to be using OConnect in the future? How would you all feel? Now, I know that caused a little bit of shock amongst a lot of people. You know, I can understand why it would have done, because it was a good product, it worked very well, and why not utilize it once again? Because it worked, really. At the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with it. I believe that the reason he brought this in is because he knows that there is going to be something that is better. And he said this, what if I told you I will give you something that is 300 times better than that of OConnect? Now, I think we need to start realizing that the names that we associate Onpassive with and the products that we associate Onpassive with aren't going to be called that or the same as that moving forward. What they're going to be, I don't know. Nobody knows. But I do think we are still going to have digital services and products. I still think we're going to see physical products and services as well. And in how all this works in and marries together, I don't know. But if we're going to something that's going to be way better than what it was, then we should be excited for what is coming. One of the things as well that he was trying to explain in a logical sense was really about the evolution of businesses. Now, I've been in business myself. Many of you people are there as well. And if you have been in business, you really do understand the angle he was coming from on Saturday, as far as how to explain things that happen within business. Most entrepreneur businessmen, they have an idea of a business, of what they want to do, and they start that process of making that business. That is their idea. It's what they want to happen. So they go down the route of whatever it is that they're doing to make that business happen. Now, that is the idea stage of it, and that is how they process the business going forward. And when it comes to that launching of the business, all that work is done to get to that moment. Now, here is what our CEO was saying, and it happens all the time, that you can have all the work, you can have all the ideas, you can have all of the tools, all the services, all of the knowledge base and the workforce, etc., to get to that point of launching that business. But there's never any guarantees that it's going to be a success. And he used the analogy of a rocket launch and it not working first time. I can assure you, in business, this happens all the time. Your idea and your hard work leading up to that launching day and how it's meant to roll out doesn't always go to plan. Now, how you process that and how you move forward from that, that is the true test of your entrepreneurial business mind, your determination, your grit, your desire to want to make it successful. Okay, that is really what we try and teach people, is that keeping going forward momentum is what makes people successful. Don't take my word for it, by the way. Get on the internet, okay, and just type in what makes a successful entrepreneur. Okay, and I can guarantee you one of the parts of what makes a successful entrepreneur is the keeping going forward and not giving up. That is one of the key elements of any successful business, any successful entrepreneur, is that ability to keep on going, keep on pushing forward until you become successful. Now, what happened with us all really was out of our control. We'd done everything. I'm talking in a sort of business sense here. We'd done everything to prepare for what was going to happen. September of 23. We'd got everything together, hadn't we? We'd notified people. We were all ready. Everybody was ready. And we launched, and boom, it went crazy, didn't it? Absolutely crazy. A lot of euphoria, a lot of hype behind it, and all the rest of it. And then, of course, the wheel fell off, literally and metaphorically. We were scuppered from within, and the whole of the business model that we'd been designing, getting ready for the launch, really imploded because of things out of our control. And when I mean things out of our control, I mean literally mutineering and scuppering of the ship. So here we are in the few life rafts and all the rest of it, and we're not giving up. Our CEO, the captain's still there. We're not giving up, except for we're having to go into a different direction. But luckily, our CEO foresaw a lot of what was going on and had been working diligently in the background to go in a different direction. And this is what he's trying to say here, is just because the first part doesn't work doesn't mean to say that things aren't going to work in the future. Far from it. And in fact, if you are still going down the same business route, which we're digital markets, digital products and services, etc., online, then you are doing things with experience and knowledge. And that really does make you a much better person moving forward, because you're certainly not going to fall for the same thing that happened before. You've learned from that. You've stuck that in the memory bank. You've put things in place to make sure it doesn't happen again, so that you can now concentrate on other things rather than having to worry about this, that, and the other. I firmly believe that this getting ready for us moving forward has actually been a bit of a blessing in disguise in one way, shape, or form. Obviously, everybody's not going to agree with me on this one particularly, but I certainly think it's weeding out the people who have maybe joined Onpassive for the wrong reason. I think it's weeding out people who aren't strong enough to move forward mentally within the business model. And more importantly, I think it proves to the company and everybody else who the right people for the next phase are. Now, obviously, everybody's going to be welcome as long as you haven't been blacklisted or whatever it may be, or I don't know. But certainly, I think that it will put people off wanting to move forward with our CEO if they don't believe what our CEO can do for them. Now, for me, that's a good thing. I don't know about what you guys think. I think it's actually a really good thing, because it means that finally we've got people in the new business who want to be there for the right reasons, because it's our choice. Remember, I spoke about choice an awful lot. But also it means that we are there with the right heart, with the right humanitarian part of it. And of course, we all want to make money as well, but we're there for the right reasons. And I think when you shake a tree, the bad apples always fall first. And our tree has been shaken pretty hard, hasn't it? So I think this is a good thing that it's happened now, because it's certainly given the business the ability to weed out a lot of people that maybe shouldn't be there in the first place, who maybe have been brought in to the business by unscrupulous other founders with promises they should never have made. And this is what's caused an awful lot of anxiety and anger amongst many people, because they were promised by people that this, that, and the other were going to happen, and it hasn't. If I was brought into Onpassive in that manner, I wouldn't be too chuffed either. But this is why I suppose, looking backwards, that what's happened now has given the company the ability to sift out a lot of that dead wood, so that when we are moving forward into the next phase, and we will be told this, how it's going to happen, what we're going to have to do, etc. So don't worry about that. Then the ones that move forward are going to be the ones that want to, number one, that are prepared to do what is necessary in the next phase, that is two, and going there with a very open mind, that they are not freeloading, that there is going to be a business there. Yes. There is going to be something for everybody there. Yes. But it's not a freeloading holiday. So many people were told, you join, you're going to get this. Okay. That's not what this is all about. We are being given in this next phase something that is going to be way better than it was, but I am sure there is going to be a certain element of things that we will have to do as well. So I am looking forward to it. I am looking forward. I'm up for the challenge, guys. Can't wait to get my teeth into what is going to happen. I think it's really important for us all to literally start preparing mentally for what we are going to do. I had a quick chat with Chris today before he went on live, and I said to him then, I said, with what I've learned over the last 6, 7 years with Onpassive, I know now that my ability is good enough for me to go out there and do whatever's necessary for me to be successful in this next phase. We've all evolved, I suppose, throughout our journey of Onpassive. I certainly have, and I think that I've learned to hone my online talents better because of it. This is going to stand me really in good stead, I suppose, for moving forward. Now, is everyone going to be on a level playing field in the next phase? Yeah. When we first start, everyone's going to be the same. Okay. And then it's up to you. You're going to be given everything and you decide how you utilize and leverage everything that's there. I don't know what it's going to be there, but I know one thing is that everything will be there for us to utilize to the best of our ability. I think it's also important to understand that we're not walking away from Onpassive and what it is there. It is also important to understand that our CEO is determined to make things right from what happened with Onpassive. Now, it's not going to happen overnight, guys. Okay, it's not going to be tomorrow or very much in the future. But he is going to make everything right. And what do I mean by that? I mean that any monies that are owed to people will be paid to them with what they are owed. Any people, workforce, etc., that were owed money that wasn't paid to them, blah, 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 that's going to be sorted out. Any governmental disputes will be sorted out. All of these things that were associated with Onpassive, okay, will be set to zero. Once that's happened, then he can decide what he wants to do with the Onpassive shell, I suppose, and then he can decide on his own what he wants to do with that. But to have that assurance from our CEO that he wants to make everything right fills me with a lot of pride, I suppose, or certainly a good feeling knowing that the ones that had commissions in Onpassive are going to receive their money at some point, including myself, by the way. I will hold my hands up now and say I've got commissions that are tied up in my wallet there. Of course I have. Am I focusing on that? No, not at all. I'm focusing on what's going to be better than that. And I believe Ash is a man of his word. And I believe that he will be doing exactly what he's told us he's going to be doing. And I'm absolutely cool with that. I'm very relaxed about it, in fact. I am very happy that he is going down that route because, in all honesty, he could have gone, Onpassive's dead. It's no more. It wasn't my fault. The ship was scuppered. It sank, and I'm going to do something else. So anything that happened in there, not my problem anymore. He could have done that. Okay, we know what has happened because he's told us what's happened. But that's not our focus anymore. We're focusing on this new thing over here. And this is why it's really important to sometimes actually step back from it all and have a look at this big picture. We need to not focus. Why do you think they put blinkers on horses? They put blinkers on them so that they're only focusing in one direction and don't get distracted by something else on the right hand side or the left hand side. In our case, we actually don't want to be blinkered. We actually want to step back a little bit and have a look at the big picture. We can see where the finish line is, but it's actually not a race to get there. We need to understand that when you step back and you see a bigger picture, then things make a lot more sense of what has gone on, rather than just focusing on one thing that is within that. Then, you can really understand a lot more about what's gone on. This is why I continue to try and advise everybody that when we do go to and listen to our CEO when he does the webinars, that we go there with open ears. I know it's a crazy thing to say, but the reason I say it is because if you're going there to listen for certain keywords that you want him to say, you're not listening to everything else. And I write notes as he's going along so that I can do the recaps for you. I have to go and listen to it again and go through my notes to make sure I've got everything and understand what he's saying. Now, if I'm doing that and many of you guys are doing that, I think everybody should do it. Why? Because again, you get a better picture. Okay, you've heard it first live and you might be tied up in the moment or whatever it may be. You listen to it again in a different environment and you're feeling different yourself, and you will pick up on stuff that you never heard the first time and the third time probably, or whatever, however many times you want to do it. So it really is important that we start to listen to our CEO, understand that he's only got good things and intentions for what is happening. Okay, we really need to start learning that he hasn't got bad intentions. Okay, that's not what he wants. He's only got good intentions. Now, there's going to be people who are saying, I'm talking the biggest load of rubbish ever. I'm in it for myself. I've been indoctrinated. I'm following a cult. He's a con man. All of these, you're going to get all of that. I've had it all the time, and a lot worse. But what I'll say to everybody is this: it's my choice to be here. I like being here. I feel very comfortable being here, and I am going to follow our CEO Ash Mufareh. That's my choice. That's what I want to do. Why? Because I believe the guy. I believe that he's going to do something that nobody else has done, and I'm going to be there at the beginning of it all. I'm going to be one of the first in this new thing that he's going to be doing. That's what I believe. That's what I think is going to happen. So why shouldn't I do what I'm doing and sharing with you guys what my thoughts are, and want you guys to come along as well? It's your choice. You can choose to listen to Redfern if you want to. You can choose to listen to somebody else if you want to. No one's making anybody do anything. All I'm doing is trying to give you some of my knowledge of what I know. And I've been here a while now. I speak with Ash, same as Chris does, and Marty. We exchange texts. He lets me know if I'm off mark, by the way, same as he does with Chris and that, with the recaps and the lives we do, so that we are getting that right message across to you. Okay, that is what we are here for, is to break things down from what he's said, put it in languages that you guys will understand, whether it's from me or other people, so that you're making your own choice of what you want to do. I know where I am. My integrity is 100% intact. Been here long time. Thank you very much. Not going anywhere. Not gone off somewhere else. Not talked about anything else. Just here. And if that is me being in a cult, if that is me being brainwashed, if that is me, I don't know, whatever's, then yeah. But this is my choice and what I believe. And I'm very happy to do that, by the way. I don't need to do anything else. Anyway, I've gone on a lot today. I wasn't meaning to stay on for this long, but there you go. Fantastic to see you all, guys. I'll be back around tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit more about the webinar tomorrow on Wednesday. And then obviously we'll either come up with a topic for Thursday, Friday, or we'll bring something else to the table. Okay, guys, that's it from me. Have a great rest of the day wherever you are, and we'll speak to you all very, very soon. Bye now.